discussion, others can join. So I want to welcome you once again. Today is Friday, the 12th of December, 2025. We're having our morning analysis session. And there's not much fundamentally in the market today. Morning, Madam Monaji. We don't really have much. We only have a news from United Kingdom, GDP, that's a gross domestic product, by 8 a.m. That's just roughly some 50 minutes from now. And I'll show you the instruments I'm looking at for this particular news event. Good morning, Trust Udo. All right, so let's start. So I'll just switch over to the chart now. Let's just quickly check this fundamental, the data, the information about it rather. So it says that this news measures the change in the total value of goods and services produced by the economy. Actual greater than forecast is good for the economy. So if the data comes out good for the pound, then we'll see a bullish movement, and if it comes out bad, we'll see a bearish movement. But then I'll be looking at the GBP USD for this particular news event. So I'm switching over straight to the chart. And actually, that's the only instrument I'm seeing that has a setup this morning, the GBP USD. All right, so this is the GBP USD. On the daily time frame, this instrument closed as a rejection candle at a resistance level yesterday. So technically, we're expecting some bearish movement from a technical perspective. Now, but you can see that there's actually a gap. There's a space between, the current daily candle, the price level of the current daily candle, and the resistance zone of this instrument. So there's a possibility price may go up before it comes down. It's possible. It can happen. So let's go down a little. Now, on the 1 hour time frame, it looks like this instrument is trying to form a head and possibly a shoulder pattern before the drop. So these are the possibilities. If the data comes out good for the British pound, then we may see that, further bullish movement before the drop. Or price may even come over and hit this resistance before it drops. Anything is possible. Though overall I'm bearish, but then if the data comes out good for the pound, we will see some bullish movement at least to the resistance level before the drop. Now, even though that is a possibility, I still maintain a bearish outlook. So I'm not just going to be looking at the outcome of the data, I'm looking at the technicals. And I'm looking at a bearish one. So if the data comes out bad for the British pound, yes, you can trigger a sell immediately. However, if the data comes out good for the pound, for me, I will just hold on and wait, because price could as well hit the resistance, because that depends a lot now on the level of the volatility. I'm not saying it must hit the resistance. If the data comes out good, we will see some bullish movement before the reversal. So overall, I'm just waiting for the bearish movement on the GBP USD. For the benefit of those who are just joining us, we are there's a fundamental event we're expecting by 8 a.m. this morning. That is roughly some 48 minutes from now, and it's the only fundamental event for today, and it's from the United Kingdom. That's the gross domestic product. Comes up 8 a.m. GDP. It's a monthly data release. And like I said, even technically, the only instrument I'm seeing that has a tradable setup today is the GBP USD. And this GBP USD will react to the news on the gross domestic product by 8 a.m. this morning. So for those who might just be joining us, I will just do a little recap. This is going to be a very short analysis session this morning, because this is the only instrument I'm seeing a setup on. So I said the GBP USD has closed yesterday with a rejection candle on the daily time frame. Technically, we have a bearish bias for this instrument. However, we don't know the outcome of the data yet. We're only looking at the technical projections. If the data comes out good for the British pound, price may go ahead to hit this resistance, because we not deny the fact that there is a gap, there's a space where price could move between the current price level and the resistance level. So if that happens, we may see some bullish movement, though overall we still maintain a bearish outlook. So if it comes out good, for me, I will personally stay out. But if the data comes out bad, yes, I will look at are selling the GBP USD. Technically, GBP USD is forming what may look like a head and shoulder, which ultimately is still expected to lead to a bearish breakout. So I'm looking out for the bearish breakout on this instrument. So I'm bearish regardless of the outcome of the news. All right, that's all that I have to show us this morning. I won't be attending to much requests because most setup I'm seeing they are more of swing, and I know many of us are not really swing traders, but just for us to have an idea of what I'm saying, I'll look at the Euro AUD and BTC USD, but there's still information. We never can tell it may move today or not, but I'll just show you what's happening to these two instruments. Now, this is the Euro AUD. On the daily time frame, you can see the market is in an overall uptrend, and also we have a valid support zone. So technically, we're expecting a bullish continuation on this instrument, and we can also see here the candle for yesterday broke out as a massive bullish candle, indicating the buyers are really pulling their weight on the Euro AUD. On the 4 hour, I'm seeing the formation of what looks like, an inverse head and shoulder, which may trigger at least a medium term, swing bullish breakout on this instrument. So I'll be looking at this eye, this current or recent high. If a new candle is able to break out above this high, then we'll see a further bullish movement on the Euro AED. RSI is already above 50 and MACD is already above 0. So we're only waiting for a new candle to break out above that high, and you can trigger a buy on the Euro AUD. This might just be the last move of this instrument for the year, all things being equal, if it goes as planned. And this might hit as much as about 80 pips. Okay, let's start from the recent one, which is Fibonacci 38.2. That's about 27 pips to Fibonacci 38.2, about 80 pips to Fibonacci 50, and about 140 pips to Fibonacci 61.8. So we hold a bullish outlook on the Euro AUD pending the breakout of price above the neckline region. And on BTC USD, I hold a bearish outlook. I'm bearish on the BTC USD, and I'll show us that just within a few seconds. All right, so this is the BTC USD. On the daily time frame, we can see the overall bias is bearish. Price is trending downwards, and if you flip down to the 4 hour, we can see clearer overall bearish. Then we have a rising wedge, which will give a further bearish continuation. And even it's looking like we're having a head and shoulder here, but let's just ignore that for now. So if price is able to break out lower, then I'm expecting further bearish breakout on this instrument. Now the other confirmation should be your RSI below 50 and your MACD below 0. So I'm bearish on the BTC USD. All right, so these are the three setup I'm showing us this morning, but the one that will likely trigger today is that GBP USD, on which we are bearish on the 1 hour. Euro AUD is swing. We don't know when it's going to break out, and BTC also is swing bearish, when we don't really know when that will happen, but we can put our attention on it. Okay, so I'll oblige those who are asking about gold. I will just quickly look at that. Now, there's no resistance in view on gold, but let's see the possibility. Price broke out above the resistance at this point. So technically, we may have a retest and possibly a continuation. That's what may likely happen. A retest and a continuation to the upside. And that seems to be happening as we speak. Now, let me clean off all this. On one side, this is looking like a head and shoulder, which may trigger a downside. On the other side, there is a support, a resistance on some support on the daily from where it can break out. So I will take this region as a zone, and you can go with price however, the forces of demand and supply pushes price. So if it breaks out downside, on the downside you sell. If it breaks out to the upside, you buy. That's the current view on gold. It's in a range between a continuation to the bullish direction or the possibility of a reversal. Just take note of those regions I marked up there. And please don't be greedy. Just catch reasonable pips and you are out. So that's my outlook on gold. All right, I think I've attended to all the requests I'm seeing on the screen. We may have to end this session here. Don't forget 8 a.m., the fundamental from the United Kingdom, it's GDP, gross domestic product. Okay, so we end analysis here. To take care and enjoy the day ahead. Bye-bye.